40 years ago, a TV show came on British television called Doctor Who. If you don't know about it, it's about a man who travels through time and space and fights enemies such as the Dalek, for example. He traveled in a spaceship disguised as what we commonly call a police call box.
Okay.
Many people have been involved with this show. I'm going to interview one of the many people who played the lead character on the show. This person whom not there would be a Colin Boy show today. Hi, I'm here with Colin Baker, the sixth Doctor in a science fiction show called Doctor Who. So, Mr. Baker, does this coat bring you any memories?
Yes, because it looks very much like the one that I used to wear from 1983 to 1986, which I suspect is a little while before you were born. Yeah? I used to wear it on a regular basis when I was playing Doctor Who, except it was a little tighter on me than this one is on you. That's nice and loose. Who made it for you?
A professional made it for my parents.
Ah, fantastic. Very nice too.
Why do you wear a cap pin?
Well, I used to wear a cap pin like your Dr. Mew badge there, because it struck me that the Doctor's personality is very like the cat in a poem by Rudyard Kipling. Have you heard of Rudyard Kipling?
No.
Right? Well, he wrote a story about a cat, and it was a cat who... Now, I'm trying to remember the exact words. I've got to get it right, because this is very important, isn't it? I am the cat who walks by himself, and all places are the same to me. And I thought Doctor Who was a bit like that, a bit like the Lone Ranger. You know, rides into town, rides away, having solved all their problems, and they all say, who was that handsome stranger? I mean, in this case, it was, who is that handsome doctor? Well, have to be handsome because you look a bit like me.
Yeah.
And you're handsome, so I must be too. So I thought the cat was a bit like, cats are like that. Cats will come in and sit on your lap, and when they've had enough, they'll go. And it's the same with Doctor Who.
I understand that you were a guest on Doctor Who before becoming a star. Can you tell me about that?
Yep, I played a character called Maxil in an episode where Peter Davison was playing the Doctor. You probably don't remember him. He played it a very short time before me. I don't think anybody noticed him really, till then I came along and everyone forgot Peter Davison. But he did play it for a short while, and in one of those episodes when he was playing it, I got to shoot him, and everyone said the only reason I got the part is because I shot the guy who played it first, Peter Davison. So that's how I met John Nathan Turner, who was the producer of the programme, and when Peter decided to leave, John very kindly invited me to play it.
Does the name Esmeralda mean anything to you?
Esmeralda does mean something to me. Esmeralda, this is a kind of rather naughty story, because Esmeralda was the name I gave to my hat when I played Maxwell. I had a hat, big hat, with a huge feather on it. And when I was marching down the corridors to arrest the Doctor and shoot him, as I just told you about, I couldn't get through the doors because he kept knocking my hat off. So the director said, well, why don't you carry the hat? So I tucked it under my arm, and with the feather bent backwards, it looked like a chicken. At least I thought it looked like a chicken. So I was walking around going, and everyone said, what's that? And I said, it's my chicken, her name is Esmeralda. So that's why I called my chicken, or my hat, Esmeralda. You think I'm mad, don't you?
No.
No. I think he's mad. He's mad.
Everyone associated with Doctor Who seems to have a lot of fun working on it.
Yes.
Was there a lot of particular jokes on the set?
We always had a good time. I mean, a studio is a place of work, so when the cameras are rolling, you've got to do the job properly. But in between, there's lots of time when people are kind of nothing to do. And I always thought it better to keep the atmosphere as light as possible, so that people still had energy. Otherwise, if you stand there and then silence, it becomes a bit boring. So certainly with Nicola and with Fraser Hines, when he was in it, and people like that, we used to play jokes on each other, but only within the bounds of the work we were doing. We were quite well behaved the rest of the time. Do you play jokes on your friends?
Not really.
You're quite serious.
Sometimes.
But you like a good laugh. What makes you laugh?
Well, I'm not really sure.
No? Who do you think is funny?
Same thing. There are a lot of people that make me funny.
Yeah.
There's not one individual.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Number 6. What was the best part about being the doctor?
Apart from meeting you mean? Because meeting you is a pretty good part about being the doctor. If I hadn't been the doctor, I'd never have met you, would I? So that's pretty neat.
Yeah?
Yeah, but apart from that, I suppose it was the fact that we always had a good time doing it and that people wanted to be in it. So, and I got to meet a lot of very attractive young ladies, which is always nice. Do you like attractive young ladies too? I bet.
Well, we can't get into that now.
Okay, no, fair enough. But I bet you get a lot of girls chasing after you as well, especially if you wear that coat. Yeah, but you're right, we shouldn't talk about that now. Yeah.
And my last question. I've heard that you were one of the actors who participated in children's play at Christmas time. Could you tell our viewers about this tradition?
Wow, yeah. Well, in England, there's a tradition that at Christmas, families go to the theatre to see plays that are only done at Christmas. They're called pantomimes. It's nothing to do with mime. It's kind of comedy, really, comedy with songs, and it's traditional tales like Cinderella, Dick Whittington, Peter Pan, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but it's done in an audience involvement way, and you get men dressing as girls and girls dressing as boys, and it's just fun. And most Christmases, except this Christmas, I'm not doing it this Christmas, I do that. And last Christmas I played a lady called Widow Twankey, and Widow Twankey is in Aladdin, and she's a washerwoman, and that was me. You mustn't, that's very strange. It's a very odd note to end an interview on, really, isn't it? Yeah. Excellent. Well, very nice to be interviewed by you. Thank you very much. I'm going to dematerialise now. That's what you ought to do. You sit there, right? Right. Now, he is about to materialise. Here we go. Anyone see where he went? That's very clever. Very clever indeed. He's called Colin. He's got to be clever.